Hey, welcome. This is a continuation on our conversation of leadership style. This is part 4 of 4, and today we're going to talk about transformational coach leadership. Now, if you've missed the first 3 episodes, go ahead, feel free to catch up on those 3 after you've watched this episode. Now, this one is probably the most fun of all the leadership styles, so make sure you stick around to the end to see my biggest takeaways and how you can start utilizing this style right away. If you've never been here before, welcome. I'm Jody Haar, Leadership and Management Coach. This is Velocity Leadership. Hey, before we dive into today's content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below to stay up to date on all of our latest content. And then at any point, if you get value on this video, go ahead and hit the like button. It does help out the channel. Now, there's a ton of different views on leadership and leadership style. These are the tactics and the approaches that I found to have the most success over my 20-year career of leadership and coaching and managing other leaders throughout the years. There are multiple different philosophies about every different leadership style, literally hundreds of different viewpoints on every style, approach, who it works best for, what teams should use it, what type of leaders should use it. Personally, I found that blending a mixture of all the different styles and approaches has worked best for me, and it's helped me to become a pretty well-rounded leader over the years. My recommendation for you is to be flexible. Learn as many approaches as you can, learn from as many different people as you can, and that gives you the ability to shift and to pivot when things change within your organization, or if you need to take a different approach with your team, you have that skill set in your back pocket to make that changes because you've seen those different skills and you've learned as many skills as you can. So there are 4 different styles. Your first one is your authoritative or your transactional. Number 2 was your servant people first. 3 was your democratic participative, and then today we're going to talk about the transformational coach. Now, before we get into it, I like to keep things pretty simple when I'm doing any type of coaching or training. It's the more simple and straightforward my communication is, the easier it is for me to understand, and it's easy for the people that I'm working with to understand what we're trying to do. If it reduces confusion, and it allows us to put something in place that's actionable, and they can worry about the tactics and the approach rather than trying to figure out the nuances of what it is that we're trying to get across. So don't overcomplicate it. Keep it as simple and straightforward as you can, and you're going to have a lot more success with anything that you're trying to implement. Now, transformational leader is a super popular style of leadership, and there's a reason for it. There's so much upside for this style of leadership, and there are very few cons when you start utilizing it with the right groups and the right types of leaders. So here's the definition for this style of leadership from Indeed.com. Transformational leadership is an approach in which a leader inspires and motivates team members to create positive changes within an organization. This leadership style can increase group morale, lead to rapid innovation, improve conflict resolution, decrease turnover, and foster a sense of ownership amongst a team. Now that's a laundry list of incredibly positive things that can come out of this style of leadership. So I have a slightly different definition of transformational leadership. The leader has a vision for where to take the team or organization, kind of their grand plan, and then they build and develop a team that's excited for the possibilities of the future, and they want to participate in achieving that vision. And now, what's the role of the leader within this grand plan? They're not bound by the way things are. They look to the future with open possibilities. They challenge the idea of the status quo of, hey, that's the way things have always been, so that's the way we're going to do it. And they really want to dramatically reshape their organization or the company or the team that they're working with. And they have to have a certain skill set to lead in this fashion. They're very similar to some of the other styles that we discussed. They have to promote collaboration, the sharing of ideas amongst the team. They have to clearly communicate the vision, the goals, and the timeline. So you, as this transformational leader, you've set this big vision out there. Here's our grand plan. Well, then you have to break it down into what are our goals that we need to take to go step by step in order to get there, and then put timelines in place as to how we're going to achieve each one of those goals. What are our milestones to get to that goal? And then in the long run, how does that get us to our grand vision? So you have to be able to clearly communicate that to everybody on the team and everybody within your organization. And then you have to keep people engaged. You have to actively look out for people and try to make sure that they're participating and they're encouraged to share ideas with each other and hold each other accountable. And then you actively look for opportunities to improve individual skill sets. This is probably the biggest part of the coaching leadership style is when you're sitting with your team, you're actively listening for, hey, this is an opportunity to make this person better. And you're looking for those on a daily basis, and you don't let one slide. You don't just sit back and kind of shout out, hey, this is what we want to do, go get them. It's, hey, this is what we're going to do, but as you're sitting and listening, you're also providing that real-time feedback to make those people better. Who does this work well for? Your senior teams that are super high performers. This is going to kill it with that type of group. Other managers and leaders that want to be part of your big vision. This is going to work really well. A group of highly engaged team members. This is a super way to get them more involved and more bought into what you're trying to accomplish. And then individuals that want to be part of something larger. Now, caution, a little bit of a watch out. It may not be quite as effective with your team of brand new employees or newer managers, the groups that need more direction and need more kind of hand-holding to kind of fit in and figure out where they're going to fit within your particular organization. But I would not shy away from sharing with them what our vision is and what you're trying to accomplish, because now they can have that in the back of their mind as they're trying to learn the ropes and figure out where they fit in. Now, personally, this has been the most fun style of leadership that I've ever used, and there's a reason for that, because you get the biggest opportunity for growth. It gives people a cause to really rally behind and try to figure out, hey, this is something that I want to be part of this. I can see myself here in the future with this group and with this organization. It has allowed me to sit with leaders and kind of show them where they could potentially fit in, where their opportunities are. And then as we have those discussions about, hey, this is an opportunity for you if you want to grab hold of it, we can lead them through that discovery process where they start to talk through, hey, if I want to do this particular role, I need to have this skill set. Well, now they're having that aha moment themselves. I didn't have to tell them, you need to learn how to communicate better, or you need to learn how to hold people accountable. I didn't have to teach them or talk to them about that at all. They came up with the idea. They realized, I need to learn this if I want to be part of what our plan is in the future. And since they've identified, this is what I need to do, hey, this is so much easier for me, because now all I have to do is walk them down the path of, okay, what do you need to do in order to learn this skill? What do we need to put in place so that you do hold your team more accountable, or you learn to communicate a little bit better? And how do we hone those skills? So now I can build a very specific action plan with documented follow-up that they've helped build, and they know that it's going to make them better. So now I don't have to do any heavy lifting, because they've decided that they want to improve. That's fantastic. Now all I have to do is have those conversations and follow up week after week and say, okay, what are we doing? How's the plan working? If it isn't working, do we need to change the plan, or is it that we just haven't done the things that we said that we were going to do and we just need to follow up on it a little bit better? So it works really well as I'm trying to develop and coach new employees or new leaders as they're trying to develop their skill set. So the pros on this leadership style, there's a ton of them, but it's the buy-in that you get. People love to be part of something larger. If they can buy into the fact that, hey, we're going to be part of this huge life-altering organization, they want to jump in and they want to really help and see what they can do. They're super engaged. They want to participate. They don't typically sit back. They really want to participate when the leader is really truly engaging them and asking for their ideas. They're more productive, again, because there's so many people involved and they feel like they're really contributing. they're going to naturally be more productive. And then there's more personal accountability throughout the team. Not only is the leader holding them accountable, but they hold each other accountable for, hey, you said you were going to do this, or you're not hitting your numbers here, and they hold each other more accountable because they have more buy-in. Now, there are some cons, and I wouldn't necessarily call these cons. I would just say that these are things that you have to be aware of when utilizing this kind of the bigger picture, grand vision approach. It takes time. You have to build and develop your vision. It's not going to come overnight. And then you also have to sell that vision to your team. It's, you can't just sit down one day and say, hey, we're going to go to the moon. It doesn't work that way. You have to figure out, okay, where are we going to be? Where is our big vision in the future? And then how do I make sure I talk to my team so they understand what we're going to do and how we're going to get there and why we need to get to this point. So selling them on that and building your communication is really important, and it does take time. And then building the proper team. The team that you have today may not be the same team that gets you across the finish line. And so you have to be prepared that you're going to have to rebuild your team here and there, just simply because people change, life happens with certain people, or they just don't buy in and it's not part of what they want to do. And that's fine. Now you just have to replace them with somebody who wants to be there. And then you need to coach up your team when they need it. If you've got individuals that need to improve, you have to spend that time, you have to invest that time to help them become better. All of these are going to pay off 10 times over, but it takes time and it takes investment by you as the leader to make sure that you're coaching them up so they do have that skill set. And then 2, 3, 4 years from now they're doing all the training for you. They're developing the other people and making your bench stronger and stronger and stronger. So to wrap up, this is a really great style for experienced leaders. So if you've been a leader for a while, I highly encourage you to kind of roll some of this into whatever your current style is and start adding elements of it, because you're really going to see tremendous benefits by using this style of leadership. The coaching part of it should be implemented by every leader right now. If you have an opportunity to coach one of either your peers or somebody that works for you on your team, and you identify a way for them to improve or do something better, you should jump in and learn how to coach them, because it is a skill that you have to practice, and the more you do it, the better you're going to get at delivering the message. And as you work with your team, you're just going to raise up their skill level, you're going to improve your own skill level on how to coach. So you should really implement that right away as quickly as possible. And then hiring is something that everybody goes through when you're going through and building a team or rebuilding a team. So identify people that have positive energy and they really want to learn. It's hard to teach and hard to coach attitude. So if somebody doesn't have the positive energy, I'm going to take a really hard look at those people and say, do I really want them on my team? I can teach somebody most of the skills, but I can't teach energy and I can't teach will. And that's something that I can identify early on in that interview process. If they're really engaged and they really want to participate and they see, hey, this is what I can be part of, that's somebody I want to bring on my team. So it's just something that I would absolutely look out for as I'm building my team. And then remember, don't get stuck in one approach. There's lots of different approaches out there. We've talked through 4 different ones. If you continue to do research, you're going to find different approaches, even more on top of that. So just continue to learn as much as you can about all of the different approaches and see how you can evolve your style to be as effective of a leader as possible. So that ends our review of transformational leadership. I really hope you found value in this. Go ahead and drop a comment below on what you think of this style of leadership if you've used it in the past. And then don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. Hey everyone, before you go, I want to tell you about a free resource I have for leaders of any level that are looking to dramatically improve your performance right now. It's called the 30-Day Map to Success, and what I've done is I've taken my 20 years of leadership experience and wrapped it up into an easy-to-use and actionable mind map that allows you to quickly go through, identify tasks, and implement them into your schedule that are going to dramatically improve your performance and the performance of your team. It's available at vldsecrets.com. The link is in the description below this video. So go ahead, click on the link, get your copy today. Like I said, it's totally free and it's great for leaders of any skill level. So what are you waiting for? Get your copy right now, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one.